It is official. The Sony FX5 has been leaked, and some pretty important information has dropped from the actual camera so far. So we're going to go through a couple of the highlight specs of the FX5, and then we'll talk about what some of these specs actually could mean. Because some of these, I knew about some of these, I'll be honest with you, or I had heard about some of these, but some of them I didn't know if they were actually going to make the final cut. And based off what Andrew's telling us, looks like they actually might make the cut here. So starting off, we are going to be getting a Sony FX5 in later July. So far what they're saying is that there's actually going to be two cameras that come out. There'll be a first camera, which is like the RX10.5. Don't get upset when Sony drops a new camera at early July and it's not the one that you're waiting for. You got a better one coming. Later in July, we're going to get the Sony FX5. Here are the highlight features. A new global shutter sensor. This is different than the one that we had in the A9 II. This camera will also be able to shoot, for the first time in a small body Sony camera, open gate, 5K, 3.2 aspect ratio. It is going to be physically a little bit bigger than the FX3, and it's going to have a lot of features, some brand new features that we haven't seen, that's going to be brought over from the actual Venice system. So what it seems like is that Sony is deciding that they are going to continue bringing this FX line cameras closer and closer to the Venice. And we know we've seen this already before. The FX2, while not my favorite Sony camera that's ever come out, they definitely made a lot of strides to put that camera more in line with the Venice system than they even did with the FX3. Because as we all know, the FX3 was pretty much just like a rebuild version of the Sony Alpha A7S III. But when they came out with the FX2, including color science, software updates, things like that, they tried to make that camera more in line with the Venice system. And now it looks like with the FX5, we're going to be getting something that is very similar as well. Now, I got to be very transparent, Jerome.
Yep.
I see global shutter sensor.
Yep.
Give me a Sony hat right now. I'm not going to lie, because y'all know how I feel about global shutters. That is the reason that made me fall in love with the original OG Komodo from RED. I eventually upgraded up to the Raptor. I have a Raptor XE right now. I shot with the Komodo X.
Yeah.
And I am stuck on global shutter. And it's the one thing that I really wish was in my ZR to this day. Because once you shoot global shutter, you can see the difference.
Yeah.
It's a very noticeable difference. So one, seeing global shutter in a cinema camera from Sony, I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
Also, something that they told us, you don't know what you want. They gonna give us open gate, 5K. We were nervous. We did think the FX3 was gonna only have 4K. Now they're actually telling us that they're gonna give us 5K, 3.2 or 3.2 aspect ratio.
Yeah.
It is a bigger body, which is what I said we needed. We don't need anything smaller. I did not like that the FX2 got smaller and took certain things out. So we are getting a bigger camera. This camera sounds, honestly, not like a Sony camera.
Well, I think they had to respond to the market, right?
I mean, you would say they do, but Sony has never been the brand to say we need to respond to the market. They would say we are the market. You respond to us.
That's fair. That's fair. But I do think that if they just did the open gate, or if they just did 5K, whatever, I think people would be like, snooze. But the reality that they added global shutter to this, they are trying to really create a new segment, because we were kind of talking about before this. Who's going to occupy this part of the market? Who occupies this part of the market?
Yeah.
A smaller cinema camera with open gate? I mean, really, it was the Komodo.
Well, no, with global shutter.
Global shutter. That's what I mean. Yeah.
And honestly, like that's initially kind of like I had heard inklings through the grapevine that they had been testing open gate
Yeah.
So I kind of was like, it makes sense to figure out OpenGate, which OpenGate is a hardware issue, from the processor, but it's a lot from a software issue as well.
Yeah.
But if you're coming out with a new camera, you have an opportunity. That's why we got all these new Canon cameras that can now do OpenGate, because it's something that kind of has to be done during the developmental process.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't too surprised with that. I will say the global shutter is shocking to me, because global shutter in a cinema camera isn't easy. I mean, let's be honest. Like, RED introduced global shutter 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And we're just now seeing another cinema camera introducing it, because figuring out the dynamic range, figuring out the processor, because you're reading the entire sensor all at once, isn't something that's just super easy to do.
Yeah.
And for a lot
Because
of...
if it was, people would be doing it.
They'd been doing it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
in a lot of brands, what they chose to do instead was to go the stacked sensor route. Oh, let's just do a stacked sensor. It's almost the same,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's not. But it's almost the same, but it's not. But they decided to. And quite honestly, seeing that Sony decided not only do that, but now also try to take the camera more in line with the Venice system,
Yeah.
it sounds like they have figured out their identity of the FX line. Like, Canon recently, like between the C50 and then the R6 and the R6V, Canon sort of like drew the line in the sand as to like, what is a Canon cinema camera, cinema menus,
Yeah.
and then what is not.
The C badge.
The C, like what gets the C badge, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But Sony was and has been kind of weird in a matter of like, what gets the FX badge?
Yeah.
Like, technically, everything in an A7S III is also inside of the FX3, and then you have like the Sony A7 IV,
Yeah.
which is almost the same as the FX2. But then they did give you, EVF, and they gave you a couple new features. But they tried to sort of align, like, hey, no, the FX2 is a FX camera. This is cinema. And now with the FX5, it feels like they're doubling down on that, saying like, no, we want to give you a roadmap to the Venice.
Yeah.
And when you use an FX2, if you use this reported FX5, you're going to be stepping slowly up to the Venice line, but also potentially giving some amazing secondary cameras to Venice and Burano shooters as well.
Yeah. Dude, I think that it's I mean, you got friends, allegedly, that know things.
I don't know. I don't know if I have. What are we talking about?
I ain't got no friends.
What are we talking about?
I went to California the other week and hit up Cam Mackey, left me on RED.
Dang.
I'm just like, I actually left him on RED. Anyways, with that being said, this feels like Canon crack. The Canon crack where the rumors are so sweet.
Yeah.
And then the camera comes out and it's not quad pixel autofocus. So there's a piece of me that's like, I am excited. Like, this sounds like an evolutionary step, not just like we are another camera, another model, that sort of deal.
Yeah.
And I feel like, oh my goodness, this is like the first camera coming from, it's the first new camera that we're like, we might be getting something new. Is that safe to say, like, new?
Yes. This is
In this product segment.
now.
I'm not saying, like, obviously global shutters has been out, obviously OpenGate's been out.
Yes.
But outside of the A9 III and the Komodo, what are we talking about? Because Lumix doesn't have global shutter.
Right.
They have OpenGate.
Yes.
And the A9 III has global shutter, but doesn't have OpenGate.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, this is I don't want to say a product first, but like this is an evolutionary step.
Even the Raptor, like the Raptor's not a 3.2 sensor.
Yeah.
So I mean, and we should have known. We should have known something was coming. I'm gonna tell y'all, you got to learn how to read the context clues. Mm-hmm. When Cam Mackey bought an FX2, we should have known something's coming from Sony, because this man was right on the same bandwagon with us about the FX2. And then they showed him the FX5, and he was like, I'm going to buy an FX2, get on their good graces, so that way they'll send me this FX5 when it comes. I'm telling you that's what happened.
He did that with DJI.
When Cam Mackey opts to buy a product, it's because he's seen something. We should
allegedly
start checking his stories on Instagram.
Bro, my
read between the lines.
I was telling you yesterday, my RS3 Pro broke, and so I was like shopping for the RS5, and Cam Mackey's video came up, and he was just like, "Yeah, I didn't think this was going to be a good gimbal, so I passed on it." And then I went begging and pleading back to DJI to give me one. Same.
He says, I bought an
I
FX2.
don't break NDAs.
He says, this has been drafted by my lawyers. I bought an FX2 and returned it immediately, but got the A7 IV or 5. I have zero info on any future cameras. Great job, Cam Mackey. Hey, thanks so much for checking out the Uncensored channel. Do us a huge favor. If you enjoy this content, hit that subscribe button. We'd love for you to join us live every single Friday at 11 o'clock Central Standard Time. We have so much fun, and we want you to be there. So subscribe so you don't miss it.